If you graduated with honors but your bank account still looks like you failed freshman year economics, this isn't your fault, it's your training. Let me paint you a picture. You spent 4 years running a specific race. You learned the track. You memorized every turn. You studied the wind patterns. And you won. Tassel turned, diploma framed, family proud. But then someone moved the finish line. Worse, they changed the sport entirely. And nobody handed you a new rulebook. This gap between academic success and post-grad struggle isn't a character flaw. It's a system mismatch. School is a closed loop with clear inputs and outputs. Show up, do the work, get the A. Life after graduation is an open-world game with no quest markers and 1,000 side quests that pay nothing. Here's what nobody says at commencement. Your GPA measures how well you follow instructions inside a building designed to test short-term memory under low stakes. It does not measure hunger. It does not measure your ability to convince a stranger to trust you. It does not measure resilience when the paycheck doesn't come. We call it real world for a reason. It's unfiltered. There's no syllabus. No office hours. No extra credit for showing up early. And the smartest students, the ones who never missed a single point on a problem set, are often the most paralyzed when the problem has no single correct answer. Think about the architecture of an exam. You have 60 minutes. You have 4 choices. 1 is correct. 3 are wrong. You circle B and move on. But your career doesn't present multiple choice. It presents a blank sheet and a vague prompt, make something valuable. The honors student waits for the choices to appear. The self-taught dropout starts scribbling. This creates a quiet crisis. The high achiever, accustomed to validation, mistakes ambiguity for inadequacy. They apply to jobs requiring 3 years' experience when they have 0, receive silence, and interpret that silence as verdict. They think, I must not be smart enough. But intelligence was never the bottleneck. The bottleneck is that you were trained to be evaluated, not to be entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurial doesn't mean starting a company. It means treating your own effort as equity. It means understanding that your degree is an admission ticket, not a VIP pass. It means looking at a problem and saying, I can solve that, instead of, has this been assigned? I want you to consider 2 students. One maintained a 3.9 in mechanical engineering. Excellent at deriving equations. Never missed a deadline. The other finished with a 2.7, spent weekends selling refurbished electronics on eBay, and once turned in a lab report 3 days late because he was organizing a campus event nobody asked him to organize. 5 years later, the 3.9 student is a competent mid-level analyst, waiting for permission to lead. The 2.7 student runs a small logistics firm, has 15 employees, and just bought his parents a house. This isn't a parable about grades being useless. It's a parable about correlation versus causation. The 2.7 didn't succeed because he failed exams. He succeeded because he practiced a different muscle. He learned to navigate systems that weren't designed to test him. Employers are not teachers. Teachers want to see if you learned what they taught. Employers want to see if you can learn what they haven't taught yet. One looks backward. One looks forward. If you spend your 20s trying to impress phantom professors, you will always feel 1 step behind. So what do you do if you're already out, diploma in hand, feeling like the smartest person in the room who somehow keeps losing? First, unlearn the idea that preparation precedes action. In school, you study then you test. In life, you test then you adjust. You don't need to read 3 books about networking before sending 1 LinkedIn message. Send the message. It might be awkward. It might be ignored. But a clumsy attempt generates more data than perfect hesitation. Second, redefine failure. School taught you that a wrong answer lowers your average. Life teaches you that a wrong direction still reveals the map. The honors student avoids risk to protect their identity as someone who doesn't fail. The builder fails weekly and keeps the identity of someone who learns. Which identity serves you now? Third, stop outsourcing your curriculum. In school, the institution decided what knowledge was worth acquiring. In your career, you are the dean. If a skill isn't required for your current job but would make you indispensable in 2 years, it's not optional, it's required. Dedicate 5 hours a week to a competency your employer hasn't asked for yet. That's your real homework. Here is the uncomfortable truth. The system that rewarded you is not broken. It functioned exactly as designed. It produced compliant, reliable workers who could execute known processes efficiently. That was the goal of 20th century education. But the 21st century economy does not pay a premium for executing known processes. It pays for navigating uncertainty. It pays for pattern recognition in chaos. It pays for the ability to look at a blank page and write the question before attempting the answer. You weren't trained to struggle. You were trained to stop when the answer key ends. If you are listening to this and feeling a knot in your stomach, recognition mixed with regret, here is the good news. You don't need to go back to school. You don't need another degree. You need 1 month of unlearning. You need to voluntarily do things that don't have a rubric. You need to write something and publish it before it's perfect. You need to pitch an idea that might get rejected. The world is full of brilliant people waiting for permission. Permission never arrives. It is not mailed. It is not conferred. It is taken. The tassel was worth the hassle. But the real graduation happens the day you stop raising your hand. This channel exists to help you unlearn the rules that no longer apply and learn the ones that were never taught. If this message moved you, if it reframed something you've been quietly carrying, hit like, not for me, but as your own signal that you're ready to define success on new terms. Welcome to 1% at a time.